she says she needs space, and your heart drops. Does that mean it's over? Is she already gone? Is this her soft exit out of your marriage? You think giving her space means doing nothing, but that's not true. Because when a woman says, I need space, what she's really saying is, I don't feel emotionally safe with you right now. Most men panic and they try to do things to close the distance immediately because space feels like death. But the truth is, if you respond the wrong way, space will end your marriage. But if you respond the right way, space becomes the very thing that reignites her respect and attraction for you. Because space doesn't fix emotional disconnection, leadership does. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make that shift so space becomes your opportunity and not your executioner. But before I jump into that, if your marriage is in a bad state right now and you want to save it, I built a free masterclass that walks you through how to rebuild your relationship and help you thrive. The link for that free masterclass is in the description below. Also, please hit the like button on this video and that will help you to find other men in your position who need this help as well. Now, let's get into it. When a woman says she needs space, all a man hears is, I'm leaving you. When a woman asks for distance, a man feels abandoned. Why? Because men generally take space when we're done with something. If we walk out, we are finished. But women are not wired like that. Women take space to regulate emotion. So she says, I need room to breathe. But in your head, you think she's telling you that you're not good enough. She says, I need time to figure out how I feel. But you feel that she's already chosen somebody else. The problem isn't her request. The problem is that you interpret her request through a survival lens. And in survival mode, you'll do one of these three things. You beg, please don't leave me, we can fix this. You perform, suddenly you become overly helpful, overly sweet, and overly available. Or you just argue with her. Why do you need space? We can just talk about this. All three of those common reactions prove her point. She really does need space because she can't trust your emotional stability. Most men don't give space, they fake space. They'll say, okay, I respect your decision. But then they text her every morning, hope you're doing okay. Or they send long emotional paragraphs at midnight, or they watch her Instagram stories like she's not gonna notice. That is performative distance. You're saying you're giving her space, but you're still orbiting around her emotions like a lost, powerless satellite. And that is the quickest way to kill attraction and give yourself no way to rebuild your relationship. Because women don't respect a man who says one thing and feels another. Your actions have to be congruent with your words. She can still feel when you're waiting for her. She can sense when you're hoping she's gonna reward you for being patient. And she can tell your silence isn't masculine. It is strategic compliance. Something has to be said, and I have to make it painfully clear. If you're giving space hoping that she'll return sooner, you're not giving space. You are bargaining from a weak position, and that destroys respect. So I mentioned the notion that the majority of men assume that a request for space means complete and total rejection. But 90% of the time, it actually just means overwhelm. Women take space not because they stop loving you, but because they stop feeling safe being themselves around you. There can be a variety of reasons for this to be the case, especially over longer marriages and relationships. You may have been reacting emotionally instead of responding calmly. Every conversation lately turns into a debate or a lecture, and you keep trying to prove your worth instead of just owning who you are. Or maybe you've just succumbed to everything she says because you're not trying to upset her anymore. And because she doesn't feel emotionally free around you, she associates you with pressure. So she thinks, if I step back, aka taking space, maybe I can feel myself again. She's not rejecting you, she's rejecting the emotional experience she's having around you. And that's fixable. There are only two ways to handle space. The scarcity response, which is something like, please don't leave me, I'll do anything, whatever I can do to make you stay, I will do it. This is no good. This will not serve you or your marriage long term. Even if she caves and gives you another chance right then and there, this chance will be born out of scarcity and it will not last. The right way is the grounded response. I hear you, I respect your need for space, take it. I'm not going anywhere, and I understand I have not been showing up as I should be in our relationship. So I'm gonna focus on myself and make those changes, and I'll be right here when you're ready to talk and reconnect. Let me tell you why that second response works. It gives her the freedom that she wants, but it also establishes you are not waiting around like a puppy. It shows leadership without controlling or being dependent on her decisions. It communicates self-worth without pleading for her validation. Most men either cling or cut off. Masculine leadership does neither. You release without collapsing, and you hold your frame without closing your heart. So now that you've responded to her need for space in a way that shows you're grounded and a masculine leader, this is where most men run into problems and fail. They are able to get that initial response and it sounds all good, but then their actions do not reflect what they said. Most think, okay, I told her all the good stuff, so now I just have to give her that space and she's gonna come back. And then they sit around and they're waiting on her, like they're on a probation period and they're just waiting for her to decide if life is going to resume for them. Wrong. Space is not a doctor's office waiting room. It is a training ground. You have to actually be congruent with your words and go and make the changes to become the leader that A, you told her you would, and B, that will ultimately be the reason for reconciliation and a thriving relationship moving forward. This is where you rebuild your identity to never get in a position again where she asks for space. Here's what using the time while giving her space should look like for you. Stop obsessing over her reactions. If you're checking her social media every hour, you're not grounded, you are codependent. Rebuild a routine that doesn't orbit around her. Wake up early, hit the gym, go for a run, re-engage with your mission, work on your side hustle, reclaim those things you abandoned while you were spending all your time trying to keep the peace with her. Reflect on your patterns without attacking yourself. Were you reactive? Were you passive? Were you trying to prove your worth instead of embodying it? How have you been showing up in your relationship recently? And lastly, work with someone who's been through this and knows how to do a 180 on identity and become a leader in life and relationships. That's literally why I built my relationship rebuild coaching program, to help men who are in the exact same position I struggled with for over a decade and managed to turn everything around. If you are tired of getting the same results in your marriage and life, click the link in the description and watch the free Relationship Rebuild Masterclass. I am telling you, your eyes will be opened to a new world. Now, let's talk about what happens if you learn all of these skills and start showing up as the masculine leader who lives his integrity. When she starts to respond positively and you see some signs that the new leader in you is bringing out of her, do not pounce on her like a starving wolf. You have built a new frame. She comes back to your gravity as a leader in the relationship, not the other way around. When she starts to thaw out and you sense her opening up and being a bit more warm, be open, but do not return to old patterns. Do not initiate any heavy emotional talks or relationship reviews asking her, hey, so are we okay now? Or telling her, I knew you'd come back. Now let's talk about us and where we are. Don't do any of that. Instead, stay grounded, set the tone, and lead calmly. Let her reveal where she's at with you without applying any pressure. You're applying presence and letting her reconnect with you at her pace. Let her safety build naturally as it should, because it cannot be forced. I just want to reinforce one last time. Space is not a loss. It is actually a mirror. It reveals to her, and quite frankly yourself, whether you're a man who collapses when your love is tested, or a man who holds his center when things get uncertain. She doesn't need perfection or grand gestures. She doesn't need desperation disguised as devotion. She needs to feel safe in your presence again. And that starts when your stability no longer depends on her reassurance. Space is not your enemy. Misguided reaction to that space is the silver bullet to your relationship. Lead differently and she'll feel the difference before she even understands it. If you're ready to become that man and learn all of the leadership skills that are not taught to men in society, if you're ready to stop guessing why other people have great marriages and every good intention thing that you do feels like it's making your marriage worse, click the link below in the description and watch the free Relationship Rebuild Masterclass. It walks you through the exact framework I use to help men save their relationship through proper leadership. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.